When's this guy going to get here? How long have we been waiting?
I know.
I mean, every time we're around this guy, he makes us wait. This is ridiculous. And I mean, look at this. He's supposed to be this big artist. Look, you can still see the numbers. That's paint by number. I'm telling you, that's a paint by number kit. Look at you.
So he's been lying to everyone the whole time.
I don't know how he does it. He tells
My
us
kids
he's
can
got
do a
this-
better job than
He
that.
talks about this new technique. Well, they've had color by numbers for like 50 years. Are you kidding me?
Listen, our kids are 5 and 4, and they can do better.
Look at he has the I before the E in his name. Who has an I before the E?
Except Dr. C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, who is this guy?
We got some new Papa swag on the table.
Woohoo.
Welcome to Connected by Water.
Thank you.
Today we are here with Tod and Valerie Roy.
Woo! Party.
And I'm not even going to say from what, because you guys are from a million things, because you guys have so many things going on, right?
Yeah.
So, but primarily Jimmie Johnson tournament and the South Beach Seafood Festival, Las Olas Food and Wine, among 3 major things you guys do, among many things. It's SoFi. What else?
You just named them.
Is that everything?
No, I mean,
I
we
passed
do,
the test.
We do a lot, but those are our big ones. Those are our babies.
We try to create a lot of fun across South Florida.
Mm-hmm. You certainly do.
Yep. We try to give
Everything
back.
you guys do is fun.
That's the good part.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like I can't think of one thing that I am associated with you guys, at least
You're associated in a lot of it.
that you don't. That's not fun.
We create fun. That's our new tagline.
That's our tag. That is our tagline.
That's your new tagline.
If he
We
knew
create
our
fun.
business, it would be.
Oh, okay. That is our tagline.
The brains behind the business speaks.
Yeah, no, we have a good time. We raise a lot of money across South Florida. We, we put on great events. We entertain a whole lot of people, and
You sure do.
sure have fun doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta have fun.
What's your favorite out of all of them? Do you have one? You don't
Yeah.
want to say, do you?
Well, no. My 2 favorite are the South Beach Seafood Festival and the Jimmie Johnson National Billfish Championship.
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 we gave birth to those, and we've seen them all the way through, and we love them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean they're over the top events.
Yeah.
I mean, just what you've done. All right, we'll take these in parts, right? So just what you've done with the Jimmie Johnson in a very short period of time. I was talking to, I think it was Troy, when Troy and Cassie were on here, saying that, like, you guys have changed everyone's idea of what a fishing tournament should be.
We agree.
I mean,
we started it.
There's no other way
and
to put it.
We were in the event business, but we didn't have any fishing tournament experience.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start it, you're doing it just like everybody else. You know, you kind of look at everyone else's work, you take what you like, and you create it and you start it. But as you get into it, then you've got to put your own touches. You know, you got to put your accents on it. And what we've done is our tournament is just done differently than everyone else's.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, every tournament out there is it's typical. It's about participation. This is how many boats. This is how much you're fishing for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you come up and
Right.
you
Cool
get
location. Maybe.
yeah. One marina. Everybody goes out. They come back. You throw a party. You know, when they first get there, you get a bucket. You get some shirts. Get a couple koozies, and that's your typical fishing tournament. There's nothing wrong with that. They've been going on for hundreds of years.
Mm-hmm.
But ours takes a whole different look. You know, so yeah, we like it. We like it. It's just our personalities now are, embedded in this fishing tournament.
Yeah, and it's not only just like a tournament; it's just like a week-long extravaganza.
It's entertainment.
Yeah,
We really took our entertainment background and our ability to create fun, like we just talked about, and kind of implemented it into an industry that we didn't know a lot about. We researched and learned a lot along the way. And at the end of the day, we created something that not only is spectacular for the fishing community and does what a fishing tournament should do, which is, put up a purse and have fun and fish for money and go out there and do what they're great at and have a great sport, but really add the entertainment value.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about giving a bucket and a shirt. It's about creating the trade show part of it and creating all the aspects that will educate the anglers. We have the pulse of the community. We want to educate. We want to have fun. We want people to go out there and do their sport. So we try to touch all the pieces.
Yeah.
and quite a purse. That doesn't hurt. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, I mean, the money that's brought to the table during your event is just mind blowing.
Yeah,
Or what's guaranteed.
We're in
you know
that
what I
$2
mean?
million area right now.
Yeah.
And I know that South Florida hasn't seen anything like that ever, but anything even close to that in a long time.
Yeah.
So, it's been great. When you have a partner like Hard Rock that comes on board and you can work together on creating something that's different. That was nice when we were able to do that. That was in year 5 that we connected with them.
Yeah.
And it's just taken it all to a whole nother level.
That really is really something special too. That I know. Speaking of last year, because I know this year is going to be completely even more of that. But last year, 2 years ago, really, when it started with the gifting at the Hard Rock, and just I think when everyone saw that, it was like,
Yeah,
what is this? Actually, it's 3 years ago we started the gifting, right?
Yeah.
And when it was in the ballroom there.
Right. Every team now gets just about $7,000 worth of gifts, outfitting them head to toe, kind of the pulse of whatever is new in the industry, to help them do what they're good at. We try to work with our partners to make sure they have the best of the best, they're getting the best of the best, and they're walking through and shopping.
Yeah.
We want everyone to pick what they want, get what they want. We have, of course, our friends Mitch at Tuna Skin and Oakley and, really so many brands and Yamaha and Contender and American Custom Yachts. Everyone is coming together. Papa's, of course, and
Yep.
Eat, Drink, and Be Local. And so many brands that are coming together. And then our favorite brand of all, which makes it all fun, Papa's Peeler. So we gotta have our peeler there.
Absolutely.
So we try to, bring in all the brands that everyone's going to want to try the newest of the newest of the best and walk away with their wagon in tow and their gifts that, you can't hold it in your hand. You just need a wagon to take it out.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, I was just had this conversation earlier today, but when we were first creating this event, you got to look at it and say, what are the 10 things that you care about with a fishing tournament? And it could be purse, it could be the gifts, it could be the venue, and you go on and on. Now, how do you be the best at every one of them? Not just one of them, but how do you be the best at every single one? Because when you are, then you've got something special.
Yeah.
And with the gifting, our thing was, how do we just make it cooler than every other tournament that's out there? How do we get more? You got to work at it. You got to make the phone calls. You got to get sponsors involved. And sponsors aren't going to be, coming in for 1 year. That's not what they want, and that's not what you want. You want to make sure that they're getting some sort of ROI on it. So you have to work with these people all year long. It's not just, hey, tournament's coming up next month. What do you got for me?
Right. Show's about to start soon. Or is everyone ready? It's like, no.
You got to work with them all year. And once you do that, last year we had 34 vendors giving things to each angler. And it's not just the captain comes up and gets one thing and the guys get a shirt. Every angler is getting outfitted from head to toe. Every angler is picking his size, his color, his look. And so
I remember one year we gave away the Grundon's overalls. It was one of the first years we started with Grundon's.
Yeah.
And we gave away overalls to everyone.
The
And everyone's
bibs.
like,
Yeah.
you're giving us bibs?
Yeah.
And you're like, really? So we try to get everyone to get their inventory out there because this is the fishing community. There's no stronger, great fishing community than Florida.
I agree.
And what did Hard Rock say to you when we first teamed up with Hard Rock and Coach Johnson, our partner on the tournament, and Todd had a meeting with the COO of Hard Rock.
Yeah, and they asked him why fishing. He was getting interviewed, and he said, why? And he said, listen, we want to dominate the sports and entertainment all of South Florida. They just put their name on the stadium, made a Hard Rock Stadium. And he said, the last time I looked, South Florida surrounded by water. And that was that's how it all started with them and then with us. And why not partner with the best event out there?
I agree. Makes complete sense. Yeah.
And they just help make it bigger and better and more fun. And
And with our tournament, we have so many different aspects, Yes, of course, they're fishing for a lot of money. Yes, of course, we throw really great parties and everyone has a blast at it, and Hard Rock does an amazing job. But we're also fundraising. We have a big celebrity pro-am aspect where Jimmie brings in a lot of former players.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, oh my God.
Yeah, I love that.
Right, we had Vince Wilfork last year, and Michael Jordan came, and Kid Rock. And so there's across the gamut that come, and they're all fishing for charity, and they're all having a good time out there for charity. And so we try to get it all, try to have it all and try to get what's important to Jimmie, what's important to Hard Rock, what's important to our partners, what's important to you, how to get your brand out there. So it's really just, having fun time.
I think that the cool thing is everything you guys touch turns to gold. That's no secret. But I think the really interesting thing is that you guys have listened. You listen. You guys are good listeners, and I think that what makes you guys successful. Like, you've listened to what people want out of a fishing tournament. Because I've been involved in other tournaments where people were complaining about this or complaining about that, or this guy's. That's it. But you guys have listened, and you not only deliver on that, but you give people more than they expected to get in the first place.
No, I agree with you. When we first started, we were down at Jimmie's place in Key Largo, and numerous people said, yeah, you just can't have a big tournament in Key Largo. It just doesn't work. There's not a venue that's big enough. There's not a marina. And so we were like, all right, well, we were trying to figure it out those first couple of years. And then we turned it all around. We got the best venue of anybody, because once we brought Hard Rock in, we had the charm, the Keys charm of the Big Chill. We had the luxury and the Ocean Reef has, and then Hard Rock. Nobody sells fun like the Hard Rock.
Correct.
So between the three venues, we had something that nobody else had. So what started out as a negative, that we don't have the venue that other people have, they don't have the venue that we have. And so we made those three happen and made it work, and it's been great.
Yeah. Over the top. And so component number 2 to this, and I'm going to segue by saying other venue, the beach, the South Beach Seafood Festival. Like, we were just talking recently, just not that long ago, saying, I remember when that was a 1-lane highway, and I was painting in the VIP last year, live painting, and I turned around and I just saw this sea of people having an absolute blast.
It's a beast.
It was just like the music was cranking, people were eating fantastic food, drinking to their heart's desires, dancing. It was just, it was outstanding. It was in October. So the weather was not too hot still, you know what I mean? But it was a beautiful day. Awesome time.
Yeah, we started that. That really was a brainchild between us and our partner Jason on it. And I grew up on Miami Beach.
Yep.
Todd has a culinary and event background, and he always wanted to do a culinary-based event. He's owned a restaurant, knows a lot of restaurant people around the area. We have a lot of chefs that are clients. And so we always wanted to know it. We started it first year in South Beach, one block. 6,000 people came, and we were like, okay, this is a good idea. And we tried to find a niche, similar to what we did with fishing. We tried to find a niche that, a lot of seafood festivals out there that are great, the Pompano, Deering Bay, across the country, really. It's great, but nobody really focuses on the talent of South Florida, the amazing culinary that we have in our backyard, the kickoff to stone crab season, the amazing seafood that we're blessed to have, that people travel from all over in the world to come. And so we found that niche when we really focused on highlighting the culinary talent of South Florida by creating pop-up cafes for them and building that luxury aspect on the sands of South Beach for Seafood Fest. We've now in, how many years? 7 years? 7 years, we've become the third largest recurring event on South Beach now. So,
really?
Yep, it's 5.5 blocks, 250,000 square feet, 5 days, 16,000 people.
Live bands.
And again, you got to you have to figure out what's going to separate you. And for me, on that, there's a lot of things. Again, you got to pick your 10 things that you have to be the best at. But the thing that separates this event from the other food festivals is actually the food. The food is the best food out there. Again,
it's 5-star.
There's nothing wrong with the other festivals and the way they do it, but they're dropping a lot of baskets of fried food, which I like.
Right.
But it's not the way we want that we saw our festival happening. And it is the best chefs in South Florida. They sit down and they create and they make the food the way that made them famous and made them good in their places, and they scale it down to make it festival friendly to eat, and it's everybody's best dishes. So if you imagine 25, 30 chefs out there in one day doing their best dishes, It's really phenomenal to be a guest. I'd like to be a guest.
Yeah. I had this lobster thing. I can't
Yeah, the
remember what
lobster.
place-
I was going to tell you the lobster waffle cone is
Yes,
it's
that
actually the
thing.
#1 food festival Instagrammed item, I think, in the state of Florida.
Really?
So Joe's Stone Crab took their traditional lobster roll.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Joe's Stone Crab. Everyone wants to go October 15th
Mm-hmm.
when Stone Crab season starts. And they took their lobster roll, basically scooped the meat out, put it into a waffle cone, wrapped it with a Joe's napkin around, and it is the #1 Instagrammed item now because it is so good. The crunchiness of the waffle cone with the I mean, you just want one right now, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back into the fridge and dip in all that food that
Well,
Troy just dropped off.
You can keep your drink in one hand and
Yeah.
you can have your waffle cone in the other, and you're just fine. And that's the way to enjoy a festival.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what they did. Every restaurant, I mean, when you think of Joe's and you think of Red Steakhouse and you think of True Lux and, all these high-end restaurants, Meat Market, and, you've got the gamut out there and we have a waiting list to get in because the restaurants are out there, I mean, doing a great job serving their 5-star dining lobster bar and all this 5-star dining at festival-friendly prices. They're putting it in and making it festival-friendly, so it's fun out there, but it's good food at affordable price.
It's amazing food.
It's amazing food.
Like, it really is.
You know, the first year that we did it, our goal was to have 10 restaurants, you know, and we were at like 8 and we had like 2 weeks to go. And we're like, wait, we're going to get these last 2. And our beverage partner, which we at the time was
Premier Beverage.
Premier
which is their
Beverage.
breakthrough.
One of their reps said, listen, I've got a couple restaurants that are going to be perfect. And they did. And they brought them in. So we had 10 restaurants. And now we've got, 25 plus a waiting list of another 25.
Right.
Here we are 7 years later.
And you
A
got
lot
like
difference.
taco places in there,
Naked
and like you got like
Taco,
fun and like
Bodega.
and like 5-star restaurants are like right up to like a taco place,
Hey,
and
yeah.
like these taco places like full on like gourmet tacos,
Yeah.
like phenomenal stuff.
CJ's Crab Shack has been with us. They were one of those restaurants I was
Yeah.
talking about, and the Lobster Shack that they have now. It's
So
they've got
good.
the best lobster rolls on South Beach. It's,
Well, then we have also like Pub Belly Group, which is, by Chef Jose Mendin and, Top Chef. And so, Stiltsville, which is by another group of Top Chef guests from
and Dragonfly
Jeff
Sushi
Dragonfly,
is
yeah.
just phenomenal.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's one
God.
that's why I had that last year too.
Yeah,
Those were good.
So good.
Yes. So the food.
How long do we have to wait for
40
this?
days.
Yeah,
So-
40 days.
So back to my point, but the food is really what separates us. We have everything else. We've got all the entertainment and all you can drink and
Right.
everything else, but that food is
I think the biggest thing also, what we try to create with the festival is, so it's in October. So it's October this year, 22nd through the 26th. And what it is, it's right before season starts. So hotel prices are low. It's a kind of a downtime for everyone. Right before season is kicking in, and it's kind of a celebration of South Florida before everyone gets crazy into all the tourists that are coming in and the snowbirds.
Yeah.
So it's kind of created that niche of the market, and people come from all over the state to be able to come down and
Yeah.
enjoy it.
But to that point, though, I still think that the event's really got a nice local vibe to
Oh,
it.
very much
You
so.
know, because you could tell that just by the energy of the crowd. It's just very much a local vibe.
We
Yeah.
always say, buy locals, for locals, about locals.
Yeah, that's good.
So,
That's good.
yeah, we like
is that
it.
our other tagline?
No, about that event.
What was the other one?
Not in on the tagline.
What was the first one?
We create fun.
We create fun
That's what
by
I was
locals
thinking.
for locals.
Out of this, who do you think does the marketing of our company? Let's be honest. I mean, we always laugh. So I'll give you our final tagline, which is the funniest tagline of them all.
All right, hit me.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. We say that I create,
Sell it.
I sell it and I think it. Jason builds it. Who's Jason's not here, but
Yep.
Jason builds it. Todd pays for it all.
Perfect. Right? That's a team.
Todd pays for it all. There you go.
Or he finds people to help him.
Yeah, yeah.
No, you know what? It's really, we've gotten into these such large events, and yes, there's so much risk involved and it's expensive, but we have such amazing partners that kind of were with us from day one. We've been able to grow with everyone. And like you said, we really pride ourselves are finding each kind of industry exclusivity and finding a niche for everyone so there's a place for everyone, and then promoting the heck out of their businesses.
Yeah.
We have a great market. We have so many followers of people that follow all of our events, from Las Olas to, South Beach to the Keys to wherever we are. And we we have fun while we're doing it, and brands want to be part of it, and we've done a good job in getting the brands into the people's faces that we want you guys to see.
As someone who's associated with you guys, I can attest to the fact that one of the best things about working with you guys is that your loyalty to those that kind of you work with and you have, worked with all these years, and it's really, it's a warm-hearted thing.
Brand loyalty is the key. When you get started, you're looking for somebody to say yes.
Yeah.
Okay? And if you are fortunate to get somebody to say yes, then you stay with that person forever.
Mm-hmm.
And we get offered all the time. Somebody's always trying to muscle in, because now when they see success, they're like, hey, I want to be part of this.
And a Class A product, for sure.
I'm not going to bump somebody that's been with me from day one because now you want to,
Mm-hmm.
And so you got to stand strong. And sometimes they're waving a lot of dollars at you, but it's not the way you're going to be in business for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take your steps, and you got to be smart, and you got to make the right choices. But brand loyalty and friendships and the relationships that get built along the way, you can't beat that.
I heard a phrase this weekend that I think attests to that too. It's when you travel alone, you'll get there faster. When you travel together, you'll get farther.
There you go.
There's a good tagline.
Another tagline.
Should use that.
And I heard that, I'm like, man, that's good.
Yeah. No, it's true. And to be honest, when we like a product, we love a product.
Yeah.
And we want to do everything we can. We have a lot of passion, clearly.
Yeah.
So when we fall in love with a product, we want everyone to know about it.
Yeah.
And we're not going to switch from that product.
Well, speaking of passion, so you mentioned, you're a Miami Beach girl, grew up, born and raised, right?
Born and raised.
Right? So it's got to be a pretty proud thing for you. You're the brainchild behind now the South Beach Seafood Festival, right? It's a thing now.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Before it was like your thing
Ask
that
my
you wanted
mom.
to start.
Her mom tells us how proud
Yep.
she is all the time.
I bet.
Oh, she tells everyone. She tells all 16,000 people how proud she
Right?
is.
She
I'm
walks
the
around to each
mother.
and every one. This is my daughter.
Yeah,
Did this.
yes, indeed.
Yeah. That's awesome. You're originally from
Michigan.
Michigan
Yeah.
originally, and you came down.
Went to
So
school at
the
the
University
U,
of
and,
Miami.
Yeah, so I've been down here for a long time.
Yeah,
For a long time,
that whole
so-
Knowles thing. Come on.
Listen. Listen.
It's
There's
all
nothing
about
I can do.
you.
There's nothing I can do about it. I like
No.
University of Miami. We've talked about this before. I like the Hurricanes. I really do. Just when, whatever.
You just like them because we're 0-2.
No. No. Yes. That's true.
Yes.
No. Anyway,
Yeah, Todd, you've been down here for quite a while.
You want how many years? You want to know?
I don't even know.
you'll need to disclose that information. That's fine.
He's young at
Yeah.
heart.
But I think it's cool though. Listen, I grew up down here too, so I don't hate the Hurricanes. I really don't. I was my whole tie with Florida State was that when I was a young kid, my sister went to nursing school up there. I'm the youngest of 6. My oldest sister went there. So I was the first kid
Sure.
of our family to go to college and everything like that. She went to Florida State. So I used to watch Florida State Seminoles on TV, hoping I'd get a glimpse of my sister in the crowd. That's really how I became a Florida State Seminole fan. And it was just like, over the years, it was just, my brother latched onto it too. So when your brother likes something, you like something, right? So that's really how I became a Seminole fan. I was at Wide Right 1 in Tallahassee. It was like one of the most heartbreaking days of my entire life. If I didn't convert then I was never going to convert. But anyway. So you have a lot of Miami pride too, I guess is my point for bringing that up, right? Because you've been here a long time. You went to college here. This is your alma mater.
My parents went to University of Miami in the 50s. And then I came down
I didn't
here.
know that.
Yeah. I came here in 1978. I was 18 years old and came down to Miami, and I never left.
That's awesome.
So
Don't do the math, people.
Don't do the math. And this is an art studio, so you're not allowed to do any math around here. No math in the art studio.
So yeah, then I was, and I went to school there and graduated, and I lived across the street for my entire life almost.
Right, and you bring a lot of the strength of the University of Miami to your events.
Sure.
Which I think is cool.
They're all my buds. I was there when Jimmie came along right after I graduated. I was there. I graduated just before the Howard Schnellenberger Championship. And Jimmie came along, and all my buds, and Greg Mark and Bruce Ebers, who are partners and founders of the fishing tournament with us.
Yep.
They played for Jimmie. They were recruited by Jimmie.
And you get a lot of the guys like when Jonathan Vilmas and all those guys are fishing the Pro-Am every year, and it's nice that connection comes into the tournament too.
Sure.
He was also president of the Hall of Fame for a long time.
President of the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He very much loves the U. He's being shy right
Yeah,
now.
I know he is. I'm trying to draw it out of you right
I know,
now.
and
Like,
he's not doing it.
he's just not biting.
I was just trying to see how serious of a Seminole fan you were.
No. Come on.
You know?
No, he's done a lot of fundraising at University of Miami, and he really loves being an alumni.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about the U.
So the Las Olas Wine and Food Festival, he doesn't want to
Can't
talk
take him
about it
anywhere.
at all.
I know he doesn't want to talk
That's
about
cool.
it. I went to University of Michigan. Doesn't matter, though.
You did go to the University of
Yeah.
Michigan. That's
Yeah.
right. And that's your home state.
Right. I lived in Michigan, came to the University of Miami. She lived in Miami and went to the
Again, don't
University
do the
of Michigan.
math. We weren't there at the same
Not doing the math.
I can't tell you how many people ask us, oh my God, did you meet in Michigan? I'm like,
Not really.
good job.
So you're a Wolverine.
I'm a Wolverine.
I've been to Ann Arbor before.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm also a Cane, too. I went to grad school there. So.
Did you go to grad school there?
Yeah, I had a brother that was he's a Wolverine. I got a sister that's a Spartan up there in Michigan State. I got an LSU brother. I got a Marine for a brother. I got a sister that went to FSU.
How many kids are in your family?
6.
6.
Yeah.
I'm the youngest of 6. I
Same
guess.
way.
He's middle.
Yeah, you're in the middle.
Yeah, number 4. Yeah.
The only one to own a restaurant.
Yeah. Yeah.
They all worked there,
They
though.
all worked there through the years. Somebody would come and work for a while, and in between their jobs and their careers, and yeah.
One was bartender, one was chef,
Yeah.
host.
Hospitality oozes from you.
Yeah, it does.
That's awesome. It really is. I mean, it's just who you are, and it's cool. I mean, it really is just something.
Yeah, we like to entertain. You know, it's. I know how I like something if I'm a guest,
Right.
and now you want to make sure that that's the way we entertain.
You know what I think is cool? One of the cool things that we did that with the SoFi 2 years ago, and I think that's really cool. Like walking around that whole neighborhood.
Oh, yeah. That's a really... so we started this event in SoFi in south of 5th neighborhood of Miami Beach. It's a summer event, which is bizarre because not a lot of things happen here in the summers.
Right.
It's a celebration of the south of 5th neighborhood of Miami Beach's luxury, SoFi neighborhood. And we get 22 restaurants, and it's one of the chef at Joe's, he says, it's like adult trick-or-treating.
That's exactly what it's like.
is.
Yeah, because you don't know what you're going to
Oh
get.
my God, that's perfect.
So you go to
That's
each
exactly what it
restaurant and you
is.
sip and you sample and you taste their summer menu items, and then you hop on over to the next restaurant and you just kind of walk around the neighborhood and have some
Oh my
good
God,
cocktails.
that's like, no wonder I love it so much.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when Liz and I did it that first year. I was like, we were just walking around and we're like, oh, yeah, we're going to this place. And what do they got there? And then they just give you whatever they give you. And it's like, oh, and it's all awesome. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and
really.
I think the biggest thing with that event is really, again, the same thing. Most of our business is about promoting different assets and different businesses throughout Florida.
Yeah.
And that event is a big promotion for that neighborhood of Miami Beach. There's 25, I think, or 23 we had this year. And I mean, the hot spots that are in the area, those luxury restaurants that maybe some people can't get to throughout the year,
Yeah.
to show off their summer menus. I think we do a great job at showcasing things that maybe people don't know about the destination that we love so much.
I think the cool thing about, at least from Liz and I's perspective, is that we're up from Broward, right? And we don't get down to that neighborhood a lot. And that was the first time that we were exposed to all those places. Like, because you would always hear about, the Nikki Beach, the Joe Stone Crab, and like all these great restaurants down there. And even found out some new places that to us may be well known to you guys,
Right.
but are hidden pockets to us. So for us, as people from Broward going down there, that event exposed us to so many great places at once.
That's another event that we started out year one. We had 8 restaurants sign up, and 3 of them were out of food in about 30 minutes. And so we were just trying to figure out how to make it all work that first year. And now, like Valerie says, we've got 22 to 25 stops along the way now. Now you can't even get to all the places.
But we call it Experience SoFi. It's a very translatable event that can really go to different neighborhoods. We could do it in other neighborhoods. A lot of people have asked us to do it for other neighborhoods of Miami. Even Ocean Drive, which is very close, wants to do it. And, Coconut Grove is coming back. It would be great for that area. People have asked us in Cincinnati, which is, they're building a big restaurant community
Really?
there. So it's a great
Cincinnati?
event. Yeah. We
Wow.
don't do anything out of the state.
Yeah,
yet.
no.
Todd used to do
But
a lot
that's
of
what I'm
the
saying.
state,
That's
but-
cool that it's far
But
reaching
so
like that.
right, so it's a great event that you can do in so many different places because the whole goal is just having people hop from restaurant to restaurant to meet some chefs and
Mm-hmm.
taste their food. And it's not a lot of work for the restaurants. I mean, obviously they have to put up their food, they have to create displays, but they don't have to go outside their doors, which I think is always difficult with some of the higher end restaurants.
Yeah, with like setting up and going to some of the vendor spots, and yeah, they
And
could,
the idea is they want to get people in their doors. So like you said, you came down from Broward.
Mhm.
You know, if you just go to, you know, a place where they're all setting up, you don't know anything about their restaurant. But now that you've been to South of Fifth
right.
and you've been in their establishments, now you know what they would, you know. what
Yeah,
to
because
experience.
everyone hears of Joe's Stone Crab because it's so famous, but there's all those other restaurants that,
Yeah.
this place is cool, you know. And then Liz is like, I want to come back here. I want to eat, and like come back here for dinner. So that's cool.
Yeah, we like that event. That's a fun one we do in the summer.
Now, how does Las Olas Wine and Food kind of tie into all this?
Las Olas is a little bit different because we don't own that event. We
Okay.
produce every aspect of it, but it's owned by American Lung Association.
Really?
Yeah. So
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep, all the proceeds go to the American Lung. It's a
100%
great cause. They're great people. They really care.
Mm-hmm.
And we were brought in year 20 for them, just to give it a little life, just
Yeah.
spice it up a little bit. And their big sponsor was also one of our large sponsors, and they said, listen, we really want you to let's see
Bring
if we
the
can
Miami
all
flair.
see if we can figure it out. And since we're in year 5 now with it, and that event is skyrocketed. It is unbelievable.
It's because everything you touch turns to gold.
Well, because we work hard.
We work very hard. Las Olas Wine and Food Festival happens in April.
Right.
So it'll be April 3rd this year, 2020, and it'll be the 25th anniversary.
Really?
Yep. So we have big plans for it this year.
Wow.
To
Sounds
kind
like
of,
you need some limited edition artwork to go with this.
I think so.
Hey.
I know this great artist.
Yeah,
No, and it's really spectacular. It's one of the only times throughout the year that Las Olas closes to car traffic, and we block off the street. That event is incredibly, I mean, I shouldn't say this, but incredibly impressive from a production standpoint because
We have 24 hours.
we have 24 hours. We get on the street at 4 a.m.
I didn't even think about that. That's right.
Right.
You got to close down that
So
whole...
we close down the
Yeah,
street at
wow.
4 a.m. We build it. Everybody comes at 6:30 6:30. We entertain for 4 hours. Everybody leaves after 4 hours, and then we break it all down till 4 a.m. the next day.
And we got to hand the street over the
And
exact
it's-
same way we found it.
5 blocks long. So we have 24 hours to build, entertain, and break down.
Holy moly.
But it's
Yeah.
really fun.
Oh, but it's a blast. But it's a blast.
Yeah, there's 60 restaurants that are represented out there, and there's 40 wineries.
Yeah,
doing-
Breakthrough Beverage is a great wine partner of ours and just partner in general of the community. They're based in Fort Lauderdale. They have like William Hill is J Vineyards is a big brand that night. They have a lot of the Gala wines. So they bring in 40 plus of their suppliers. They serve about 200 different types of wines that night. We have 60 restaurants sampling out all different types of stuff. We have sponsor lounges. It's
So is
really
there any
awesome.
sort of competition involved in that?
Yeah, we've done different competition there, and
Yeah.
but it's mainly just it's a street party, but done
Right.
with class.
Yeah.
It's really we used to do the chef competition there. But to be honest, there's so many restaurants to get to. There's so many sponsor
much.
experiences. You just want to walk the street. It's so beautiful that night. I mean, we close off, we tent the entire street. We make it, I mean,
Yeah, it's all lit up.
all
It-
cut-
it's-
wow.
up.
It is
It's
beautiful. Yeah.
Wow.
And you grab your wine glass at registration and you trot your way down the street and you
And
have a
just
lot
go.
of fun.
So so it's not like there's like a chef showdown.
We had one for a couple
Yeah.
years, but we just found that the interest is really for everybody to enjoy some entertainment, but get to all the places.
Yeah,
You know,
I think
it takes a while.
It's one of the only event. It's the largest wine and food festival to happen in Fort Lauderdale, and it's one of the only times that really all the Broward County restaurants are really, because we get restaurants from all over. I mean, Papa's Raw Bar comes out, and we have restaurants from all over that are coming together all across Broward for one night only, and only for a couple hours, to really sample out their items
Yeah.
and
It's like
kind
a
of
lightning round kind of, yeah.
So you got to
Wow.
get to everything, but
Impressive.
it's beautiful. It's really, that street is so gorgeous, and Fort Lauderdale does a great job keeping it up. And we love Las Olas Company and Las Olas Association that kind of helps us put it on. And then our clients at American Lung Association, 100% of the proceeds go to support their efforts. If you can believe it, which is crazy, it's the third leading cause of death in the United States, lung cancer.
I do believe it.
So
Yeah, that's one of the ones I do believe.
yeah. So
As an ex-smoker.
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
listen.
hey, you know what? Listen.
You're an artist.
Well, you know what? Maybe that's part of it. You know, maybe it's college, maybe it's, whatever, and you just get wrapped up, and you think that it can't happen to you, and I could just do this on the social level, and all of a sudden you turn around one day and you're a smoker.
Yeah.
And you're addicted, and it's evil. It was like the worst thing I've ever done in my entire life. And, finally I was able to quit.
Yeah.
I'm proud to say that I'm not a smoker anymore. It's probably one of the greatest achievements of my life, is like becoming an ex-smoker.
Great.
It's not easy to quit smoking. I can tell you that right now. But yeah, so I do believe that that's one of the third leading cause, you said, of deaths in the country, because I know how addictive it is. And once it's got a hold on you.
And I think
tough.
American Lung Association does a great job in funding research and trying to find preventative measures, trying to create educational seminars and programming to help people, not only with lung cancer, but COPD and other diseases that go along with lung disease in general, but primarily just how to quit, how to get healthy and stay healthy.
Wow.
So I think they do a great job.
You guys work with a lot of different organizations, though, really, too. Like Miami Sylvester is another one that you guys have worked with in the past.
Well, I mean, through the years, when I first started the company, it was, I was a management company being hired by typically nonprofits to raise money. And it was typically through golf tournaments. That's how we first started. We first started doing golf tournaments. And I remember the first year I did 4, and next thing you know, we were doing 45 to 50. And so we have raised money for, you name it, we've done it. I've done, basically 1,000 golf tournaments was the number at one point. Now, because of the bigger events and we're invested, in some of these, we still do maybe a dozen, somewhere in that neighborhood, golf tournaments. Some people I'll never leave. I'll do it till the end.
Yeah.
And so it typically, fundraisers, they have a cycle. They have a life span. And it's typically somebody that's the engine that's at that foundation or is raising money for something, and it just doesn't last forever.
Yeah.
So for us, we still do raise money for a lot of organizations, and we still can, but we kind of like our portfolio that we have now. It's great.
We still try to keep a lot. Your longest standing client, I think, is CHI, which is
25 just
Community Health
Yes, yep.
Initiative, which is down in
South Dade.
South Dade is 25 years, I think.
We just did 25. They gave me a 25-year plaque,
Oh,
so
yeah,
we're
yeah.
at year 26
Oh,
this
you
year.
got the plaque.
I got the plaque.
When's the gold watch come?
Yeah, right. No, but I think on an annual basis, we raise close to $1 million for different charities.
That's incredible.
Across the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
it's something that we do kind of silently, and we don't expect anything. We
I
don't
know,
need the
that's why I brought it up.
We don't need anything.
That's why I brought it up, because
But
if I
we-
don't bring it up, you're not going to talk about it. And I know that about you. That's one of the best things I love about you guys the most.
But we really, even like our seafood festival. So we have a charity. It's called CI Foundation.
Yep.
And it's called Community Initiatives Foundation is the full name. And we do different programming throughout the year. Seafood Fest's beneficiary is called Eat Smart. And it's basically to help bridge the gap between hunger and obesity in children. And so we create food pantries in schools to create incentives for teachers to be able to, one, just ensure kids are coming to school and they have something to eat. Because a lot of times they don't have things to eat on a daily basis. But also
I hate hearing things like
I
that.
know. Like Title I programs and things like that help out. But on the
Yeah.
weekends, they don't have a lot. 2 is incentives. So do your homework. Trying to help the teachers provide incentives to get kids to stay smart, be smart, live smart. And then in the summers, we create a big fitness camp for the kids for a day with Drew Rosenhaus, the agent Drew Rosenhaus.
Yeah, he
So
brings
we
out his
create-
players.
So we bring out some players. We have a big fitness camp, and the goal is to get the kids off the couch, put the remote down, get them out, and kind of go full circle, help them incentivize to stay in school throughout the year. And then in the summers, have a little fun with them. We do it in partnership with Little Lighthouse Foundation, which is a volunteer-based organization and a client of ours. And we had this whole Christmas in July holiday party this year.
Oh, that's cool.
So we had hundreds of kids come to a park in Overtown, and it was the beneficiary of our seafood festival was kind of the celebration of it with this big fitness camp.
Yeah, and we had some people donated a lot of toys, and so we had every child. There were 500 kids in the camp, and they got to come up and pick one gift for them, and then another gift that they wanted to give to someone else. So they get the experience of actually being able to give a gift. So they got
'cause it's
one,
just
and
as
they get to
important,
give one,
if not more.
No
Yeah.
We
doubt
did
about
that
it.
in partnership with Hasbro. So
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
yeah, so
That's great.
Those are the things that we get to do on our side. We get to bring our kids. I mean, our 5-year-old was out there running with the kids and
You're
having
awesome
a good time.
kids.
Yeah, they're a good time. But, getting them involved in the next generation. And our client at Little Lighthouse, Jonathan, he always says it's called leveling the playing field. So that's what we're all out there to do. We have a good time. We celebrate. We throw heck of parties, but
You always do.
we give back. We
Yeah.
want to give back too.
I didn't know the Rosenhaus came out for that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, we've been doing it with Drew for about 10 years.
Really? Who's he bringing out?
He brings out all his guys. I mean, he's got a lot of, he's always done a lot of Dolphins, and he's a big wide receivers guy. A lot of his big clients are wide receivers. So, back in the day with T.O. and those guys, but that's where his.
Was Randy Moss one of his?
Randy wasn't one of his.
I don't think it was. I'm getting a
Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown, yeah.
Yep, he was, and I don't think he is anymore.
He's got his hands full this week.
Yeah, but look where he lands.
Yeah, come on.
Right.
Right. Look where he lands. Are
Of
you
course he
kidding me?
landed there.
Of
Where else was
course.
he going to go?
Oh my God.
Saw that coming for.
Yeah, I mean
From a
that's
mile
like
away.
Yeah.
it's turned into that's the natural progression of this.
Yeah.
It's like when things like that happen, Bill goes, "Come to me,
Come
Right.
to that.
come to me."
Yeah, these guys, they screw up on purpose just so that they can be, available for Belichick and Tom.
Yeah,
That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
did it on purpose just to get there.
No doubt
Yep.
about it.
yeah.
We actually work a lot with Drew, and so a lot of the athletes.
Gronk's one of his.
Yeah, so a lot
Oh,
of
I
his
didn't know that, yeah.
athletes want to create charities. They just don't know how. They don't know whatever. So, not that he was a client, but like Ray Lewis was a client of Todd's for a long time. Always wanted to do charity work. So Todd started managing his foundation, and they would go up to Baltimore and
Yeah, we did 10 years up in Baltimore with Ray.
Really?
We did an event called Ray's Summer Days. What happened was I was working with Alonzo Mourning and Zoe's Summer Groove down here in South Florida for 13 years.
Right.
But Ray had come, and he's like, wow, I need to do this in Baltimore. So we did Ray's Summer Days, and it was a series of events, and we'd raise, $500,000 a year for the kids in Baltimore. And but Ray was he was good, and he had fun when we did it. And again, when we were coming to town, it was the whole city of Baltimore would just be just loving it.
Is he as intense?
He's intense. He's
as
right.
he is on camera.
He
Like
is-
that's how he is. Like when you're in a
Yes.
closed
well, he's
room
about
with
to be
him.
on Dancing with the Stars. So
Listen,
Yeah.
we need to talk about this. He'll like break it
You
down.
kidding
Like
me?
just get like all in like he's living inside your
He would
chest.
call a meeting, We'd be, okay, were you there and stuff? I got an idea. It's like, okay, God, what do you got?
Right. He's a badass.
And then I remember one time, we were doing a golf tournament for, 5 of the years we did it. One of the events we did was a golf tournament. So he calls me up one time and he says, got to come see me. I got an idea. So I went up. He lived in Delray at the time. It was in the summer. I mean, it was the off season. And I go up and he goes, paintball. I go, okay. He goes, we got to get rid of golf and we got to do paintball. And I said, all right, what's kind of your game plan? He says, I was just somewhere. He was in Hawaii or somewhere, and we had a paintball tournament. And he says, nothing like it. So we created a paintball tournament. And if you can imagine in the finals, I mean, because, Ray got his guys together on his team, and they were playing,
Anyone I know?
There's a bunch of corporate teams, yeah. So the team in the finals that ends up going against a team that was a professional team was Ray, Willis McGahee, Ed Reed, and they had another DB. I can't think of his name right now, but he had one ringer that was kind of working from the back, the guy who's like a really good paintball player. And the guy who owns the company, he looked at me and he just said, he was pointing to Ed, and he said, that guy could probably be the greatest paintballer in the history of paintballing, because he's watching him stalk and move, and he was like in a sprint. Yeah, he was in a squat position and like sprinted up a sideline before anyone could even figure it out.
Yeah,
but it was fun watching these guys go, and we set it up in Ray's yard.
Yeah, right. He's being shy about it. They convinced the paintball owner, the company owner, to set it up in Ray's yard.
Like the owner of paintball?
No, of the Baltimore area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But they were the number one maker of the actual pellets.
Okay.
Okay, it was a huge
And
company.
they built an entire field, or whatever you call it. I'm not a paintball connoisseur, but in his front yard.
Courts.
Does this still happen?
No, we stopped. I think it was right after they won the Super Bowl and Ray retired. He kind of retired from his foundation. But
it was wild.
yeah, it was great.
Well, I got to think anything that Ed Reed does on the physical level, he's going to be the best at. I mean, because the dude's just a freak. I mean, this is coming from a Florida State fan that watched him single-handedly dismantle Florida State in Tallahassee one year.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm like, you're the reason that we lost.
Oh, you
like,
saw
I'm
that
looking
speech he did at halftime. Remember, he's going, "Come on, dog!
I'm like,
come on, dog!"
I'm like, you're the reason that we just lost that game.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I get at with like. I don't hate the Hurricanes, because I look at a lot of their players and I'm like, man, you guys are awesome. You can't deny that, like the Willis McGahees and the Clinton Portises and the Ed Reeds and Ray Lewis, in my mind, is the best linebacker to ever play football. Yeah. Like, I really like, even more than I think Lawrence Taylor, who's kind of a hybrid linebacker, but I mean, I think he was the best.
For us, it was such a good time to be up in Baltimore, and when we did the last 10 years of Ray's career, basically. And so it was a blast, because they had a lot of great seasons, and there were some tough seasons in there too. But when he walked away from the game on the a goal line stand, on the last stand in the Super Bowl, that's your last series you ever play.
That's it.
And you win it all. That's a nice one. He won one when he was young, and he won that last one, his last year. And seeing Ed get his Super Bowl ring that year, he had gotten a national championship one with the Canes. And it was a good time. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know, that Baltimore defense historically, I mean, it's going to go down as one of the top 5 defenses of all time.
Sure.
And that's because of your Hurricanes that run there, really. I mean, and I also want to add, like, I actually do have a favorite Hurricane.
Oh.
But
Greg Mark?
No.
Yeah. Number 94.
Sean Taylor.
Yeah.
He was my favorite Hurricane of all time, because I was a defensive back in high school. Not very good, but, that was,
You
small.
tried.
I tried. And I was small and quick, and that's whatever. But I always kind of looked at him. It was right around the same time, and I was like, man, that guy's really good.
He won a state title with Gulliver.
Yeah.
He scored 3 touchdowns in the final game to win 21-7.
See, I'm getting them warmed up with the Hurricane. Yeah, see, I went around the back door and I came this way and I got them going now.
Let me tell you something about our Todd over here. He knows every stat of every sport.
I used to.
Before 1970.
Yeah. But are you in the sports?
Yes.
You are, right?
Yeah, I love to watch football.
Yeah,
I like college
Come
football.
on, we shared her birthday the other day with a Canes football game and
Canes
party
lost.
at my house.
It was great.
Nice.
Well,
What happened?
we lost.
Oh, you lost. Oh, you lost. Yeah.
I went to University of Michigan.
But your Wolverines won.
Yeah, my Wolverines won.
Squeaked out against Army.
So you always have an out then.
I always went out.
Yeah.
But you can't not be a football fan if you go to Ann Arbor. It is unbelievable being in that stadium, and the whole experience of being in Ann Arbor and going to games, and
it's a cool town.
One of a kind.
It's a cool town. It was so when I was at Ringling, when I went to art school in Sarasota, Ringling, and my roommate had gone to Michigan State for 2 years, right?
Went.
Yeah. So I remember this. We were in the dorm room. We were watching ESPN, and it was the week before Michigan State. And my roommate goes, man, I wish we were up there. It was such a great time, blah, blah. There's nothing like Michigan State. And his girlfriend, who he met there in Sarasota, was also from Michigan. She was from Farmington. He was from Novi. Like, all three of us just looked at each other like,
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Road
let's
trip.
go.
Oh, that's awesome.
So from Sarasota, we jumped in my 1988 Jimmie 4x4. All right. And we drove to Michigan. We didn't tell anybody. This is before cell phones even. And we got in trouble from a few people because I never told my mom we were leaving. Never told my girlfriend back here that we were leaving, whatever. We just show up at his parents' house, and she about had a heart attack when she saw all of us like show up. Like, yeah, we came, you know. We had a great time. We partied in Michigan State and East Lansing. We went over to Ann Arbor. We partied over there, partied all around the state. And then we drove back, and in Tennessee, my transmission goes out, and it won't go past 40.
Oh.
So I had to drive 40 miles an hour all the way from Tennessee to Sarasota. It's the longest trip of my life.
That
Oh, yeah.
sounds terrible.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my Michigan story.
Don't go back.
We drank apple cider while we were up there, too.
Oh, good.
Yeah, went to a cider mill.
Cider and donuts.
Let me tell you.
Are you kidding me? They're the
I like
best.
a good Jack, Fire, and apple cider. Have you ever tried it?
Yeah.
No.
That's.
Oh, my.
We
that's
should try
my-
it tonight.
We have it at Seafood Fest.
We can't try
Really?
it tonight, but we can
At
try it
Seafood Fest at all the bars, you'll have Jack Fire and cider.
Jack, Fire, and cider.
Yep. It's
I've
the
never
best.
had it.
Oh, my
what a
God.
great
It's so good.
combination.
We'll try it. Yeah.
All right.
We'll bring you some.
Save some for me too.
Yeah, you can't forget about John over there. We have to feed John some liquor.
Tonight we can go to Papa's Robber and have a little 26-degree brewing company.
26 degree right here. Right?
Yeah.
Captain Ron. Right, we got their IPA, A1A.
You know what I like about Troy and Cassie is they always bring in the best local brands.
Mm-hmm.
You know, their whole YCU, the Eat, Drink, and Be Local hat on. At Papa's, you're always going to get the best of, you know, the new, the local, you know, what's going on. They do such a great job there. It's one of our favorite places to eat.
What I love about what they do is that, let me try to word this the right way because it's a very unique way that Troy and Cassie kind of approach not just the restaurant industry, but life in general, is that they're always thinking about not only just outside the box, it's almost like they're trying to recreate what the box actually is, you know, and just, you know, with their way their menu is and say, we're going to try this, throw it on the menu. Nobody likes it. We don't care. We're just going to throw it on there because we think it's a cool thing to do. And some of it stays, some of it doesn't, but they're always trying like unique things, whether, because you go to a lot of restaurants and you look at the menu, and although it could be a great restaurant and the menu could be phenomenal, it's the same menu that it's been for the past 5 years. Mm-hmm. And they may put like one or two things, like change one or two things, and then that one or two things that they change will stay on there for another 5 years.
Right.
But their menu is like always in constant flux,
know.
and that's what makes it, it's really a
have
culinary
rolls now.
experience. Yeah.
We have rolls named after us.
Yeah.
Mine's a
Val Sexy Mama.
Val
roll.
Sexy Mama roll.
Come on.
Yeah.
Sexy. I like it. Yeah, there's an
Just 'cause
OCD roll,
Yep.
right?
There's an OCD.
And then I think Joey's got I got to get a roll.
I got a roll.
Come on.
Hello, what's my name?
Troy.
Yeah.
Troy, get on that. Todd's. Oh, I forgot. Actually, mine's called Bahama Mama.
Oh.
I'll remember yours in a
Oh,
second.
I thought you were a sexy mama.
It's part of the Sexy Mama.
Oh.
The umbrella
Yeah, yeah.
of Sexy Mamas.
Yeah. Don't worry. I still
Well,
have
they
the
serve
title.
food the way, again, like I like to eat it, you know. I want to see big and I want it to be good. You know,
Right.
I'm not looking at the right side. I'm looking at, you know, what you're getting.
Yeah.
And they just do such a great job. The presentation, it's big, it's colorful, it's fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Chef Chad from Papa's
Yep.
is competing in our Chef Showdown this year at Seafood Fest.
Nice.
He'll be in Battle Oyster.
The
We
chef
guess
show.
so.
Let's talk about the chef showdown for a second because we didn't talk enough about that because that's my favorite
Event
part
of the year.
of
Yeah,
the
that's
South Beach
that's.
Seafood
I mean,
Festival is the Friday night,
The
not
whole
the
week
Saturday.
is our favorite. We have all the different events, but that one is kind of our favorite also.
I mean, you got
know.
the Food Network.
Yep. So
Filming
it was
the whole
just, it was named Best Seafood Competition in the Country by Food Network.
Boom.
Boom.
Nice.
And
That's big.
yeah, it's big. It's 16 chefs. We have two more chefs this year. So 16 chefs. We only do 8 battles. So it's 2 chefs per battle. And guests walk in. They're the judges.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nighttime event. We call it a chef competition meets beach bash because it really is kind of that ultimate beach bash. You party, you have fun, you dance, you sing, you have a good time.
Nothing stuffy about it.
Nothing stuffy.
No.
And the chefs are there live and you're sampling. So you walk in, you have your tokens.
Mm-hmm.
You get your tokens of registration. You come in, you sample from one restaurant, you sample from another, you put your token into the one that you like the best, and then you move on to the next battle. I will give you a badge if you can try all 16 restaurants, because they're serving, good portions of this.
What kind of badge?
A gold star.
There we go.
One you can eat.
All right.
Oh, yeah, even better. How about a knife for the chef showdown
Okay.
so that you can learn to cook?
Sounds good.
Okay. So then the chefs take the stage. But not only do they take the main stage in our Goya Culinary Pavilion, they go on the stage with a show. So, for example, Naked Taco, so Ralph Pagano is a show. He brings up, last year he brought up a 10-piece marching band with him, and Bodega brought up a mariachi band, and the guys from Dragonfly last year brought up this whole samurai sword show. So everyone does a show when they go on stage, and they've got 15 minutes to battle it out, and we have some judges on the
American
stage.
Airlines chef
Oh,
Jared.
Oh, he did a great job. He brought the street team from the Miami Heat with, the big fat heads and throwing out, and Bernie was there and Dale, and they brought their whole team from the Heat. And so every chef gets really into it because they want to put on a show, and their food is heck good.
Yeah.
It's
No,
so good.
It's good. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just the spectacle of the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
It's nighttime. You're
Yeah.
on the sand, on South Beach. And again, we just try to do it with that South Beach chic feel, you know? It's anybody can just do a food festival or do a food competition, but you got to think about all the components. And, what do you want? You want energy, you want great food, you want a good vibe, you want plenty of libation, you know? And so when you put it all together, walk away and go, wow.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's
You bring up
Friday, October 25th.
Friday, October 20th, the Friday night, right?
Yep.
So you bring up the whole food. We talked about the Food Network thing aspect, and I was going to say that, whenever you see these shows on TV, and like they'll go to like Monaco or like Dubai or whatever, and and they film this event, and you're like, man, I wish I could go to Dubai for that event. All you got to do is go to South Beach because this event's like right on the same level. I mean, and
No
I can
doubt.
attest for it because I've been there. And that's the only reason I say that. I'm not just trying to promote you guys. It's the truth. It's like
Thanks, dude.
it's on that level.
Yeah. It's really a good
Yeah,
time.
it's beautiful.
We've been able to garner an amazing media attention for South Florida in general, for Miami Beach and Miami and South Beach. And it was just named by USA Today as top 5 specialty food festivals in the country. So just this year. So it's creating that, drive for the destination. And we've now created a big partnership with the city of Miami Beach to really kind of showcase the destination. That's what we're here for. And I think the event does a great job. And like I said, it's in early October. So, it's in late October, but before the season starts. So it's kind of that fun thing. And then right when we're done, we jump right into Jimmie's and plan a fishing tournament.
I got a question for you guys.
Do we sleep? No.
Oh, yeah, we got kids, too.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at, right? It's like, all right, so how is it husband and wife running this thing?
Honestly, I don't know how we would do it if we weren't working together on it.
Right.
If one of us were in this business and the other one wasn't, I don't think that would work very well. So for us, this is all we know. We both are, we do the
I
same
can
thing.
see that, yeah.
And we're
One would be
working on
out, one would not. We don't, contrary to what some people think, we don't do it alone. We have an amazing team.
You do?
Amazing team. We have a great partner with Jason Vanger, who handles all of the logistical side, and, yes, a lot of people see us doing a lot of the forefront and kind of working with the sponsors and the partners in the restaurants. But, our partners all together, our sponsors help us so much. And our team, our marketing team, and the people, our production guys, we have an army that comes out when time is needed and gets the job done. It takes an army.
Right. Like all armies, an army has to be built. And
Yep.
you guys built a good one.
Yeah,
so.
no, and we got kids together, and they're young, and we have an office in the house, and we've got a warehouse with stuff, and we've got
We were talking
different
that-
venues and different areas that we work out of, and we make it work. But we work together on it, and yeah, it's the same thing, you know.
I think
Husband and wife, you know.
Right.
I think the best thing that we do also is, you know, we want this to be passed on to generations, and we have little kids. We have, you know, a 14-year-old and a 5-year-old and a 4-year-old, and, you know, Jason's going to have kids soon, and our kids are in the thick of things. I mean, when we're setting up for an event or something.
They painted with Dennis.
Yeah, our kids were painting with you. Our kids are in the warehouse pulling tent poles and making gift bags. And, you know, my stepdaughter at 2 years old made gift bags for a client of ours. And they were like, who is this? And she's going to be taking it over one day. I mean, the point is.
She's learning all the graphics and stuff that Valerie does, you know.
She started taking journalism in her high school and is putting together the yearbook. And I've been teaching her Photoshop and things like that. And so our kids, I mean, we build out. For the South Beach Seafood Festival, we build out 22 days on the sand to build, entertain, and then break down. They come out there, they're putting up signage with our guys, and they're 5 and 4, and, you know, they're sweating, they're having a good time, but it's hard work, and they're willing to put in the time and the energy, and they love it. They want to be involved, and I think that's the whole thing is we've got another generation that's going to be doing it with us.
That's awesome. I mean, we can relate to that because with our kids too in the studio, they're always in the studio. We always have them in here, and they grew up in that scene too, where you know if we have to ever set up for anything, then they come and they set up. And like I remember when we did the bridge dedication, we had to set up a tent. We had all the prints that were going to do a signing and everything, and then we were setting up, and you know I had like other people were getting stuff out of the truck, and my 8-year-old daughter was like right with me. And then someone pulls me and was like, hey, the mayor of Pompano Beach, you got to come over here, needs to talk to you about something. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm like, but I got all my stuff here at the tent and no one's here. And I turn around and I see my 8-year-old daughter. And she started talking to like a customer or whoever it was already. And I'm like, all right, Sienna's got that. So and I'm like, and I was walking away and I'm like, did I just say my 8-year-old daughter had that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but it's great.
Yeah.
You know?
Every year, you know, Jillian helps us at Chef Showdown. She collects all the votes from the judges. And we received a proclamation last year from the city of Miami Beach. She was right in the middle of it, you know.
Yeah.
The whole pictures, and we have a lot of media there that day. We have big media, a lot of cameras around, and you know, she's just okay with it. She doesn't get phased, and you know, in the middle of an event, there's high energy and there's a lot of things going on, and she's ready to work and put her to work, and she loves it and she wants to do it. So I think the boys will once they get a little older.
Yeah.
They'll be involved.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Well,
I think
we eat, drink, sleep, breathe all of these events all the time in our house. So, you know, they don't have a whole lot of a choice, but they love it. You know?
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think in a way too, it helps them get closer to you guys, whether they are conscious of that or not. Which they're probably not conscious.
Well, they're
of that,
not, but it's definitely the truth.
Yeah, they feel like, oh, this is. You know,
This
they
is
can
the norm.
get involved with mommy and daddy's thing. It just brings them closer to you, and
they love
they
it. They
feel
think
that's
it's so
probably why they
cool.
don't mind it. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, we have a good time, and we have to do it in our business. We have to work hard.
Yeah.
You know, if we're not out there selling it or promoting it or doing something, it doesn't get full.
No one else is going to
You know,
do it
nobody
for you,
else
that's for
can do
sure.
it, so-
Yeah.
But we enjoy it, and we have a lot of fun doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I go to the warehouse, I look at it as a chore, and they hear warehouse.
Yeah.
We want to go. We can help. You know? They think it's great.
And every day, Daddy, can I come to the studio with you?
I think what's fun too is a lot of our production guys, their kids now are starting to work with us because they're a little. The kids are a little older, so we've got, you know, the ones that are graduating from high school, need summer jobs, graduated, you know, from college, need to do something before they're getting their, you know, careers on. So Todd's family, we have 10 nieces and nephews, including our kids. So, you know, there's 10 grandkids in the family, and everyone has, you know, interned for Uncle Todd.
Yeah.
All the family, everyone. Uncle Todd. What are you doing this summer, Uncle Todd? And it's a family affair.
Yeah, that's good. It's nice to have built something like that, though, you know, with your own two hands that the whole family can kind of get in on and get involved with. And
No, we're proud of it. You know, we're proud of it. We like it, and there's still a lot more to conquer.
I think in year 2, he was telling someone a story yesterday of his brother on year 2 of South Beach Seafood Festival. We show up, you know, we're just trying to make it all happen. His brother comes. His brother's 13 months younger. They grew up almost like twins. His brother's like, hey, you know, how you doing? Can I help with anything? I'm going to go in and have some fun. And Todd's like, wait. And he's like, pick up this case and walk in with it. And it was like a case of beer or something like that. 3.5 hours later, his brother looked at him like, I think I'm going to go now.
I haven't eaten anything, but I think I'm leaving. I'll get something to eat on the way home.
I'll send you my hours.
It's family, you're going to jump in and help out your brother no matter what.
Yep, for sure.
It's great. And that's the way we look at it.
This year for the Jimmie Johnson, there's a lot of big changes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's a big move.
Yeah, it's a huge move.
And, there's, numerous reasons, but it was, we're getting to the point where this thing is, we're outgrowing the Keys a little bit, and we've got the opportunity to kind of take over, it's 112 miles of boundary.
Yep.
And, when you have a partner like Hard Rock and they just put, $1.5 billion on their property and they say, we'd love for you to host it here. That's a yes to me.
It's a no-brainer.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so they've been so terrific. They love the event. And now we've got the opportunity, to kick everything off there, let everybody get out and fish where they're going to fish. And then we all go back there and celebrate an entire weekend on that property. I think it's just tremendous.
I think also it really provides a benefit. I've heard it from a lot of teams that, some people, one, can't afford to be in the Keys for an entire week, especially during March.
Cheap.
It's expensive to bring your whole team down there, to bring the boat, the whole thing. Two is there's not enough space in the Keys. Some of the big boats surprisingly can't fit into Ocean Reef, or they're just not willing to pay $8.50, per foot per day. So really it provides an opportunity for teams from all across Florida. I mean, we get teams from all over, from Texas, from the East Coast, that fly in town and charter boats and things like that. But really, a lot of the Palm Beach teams that maybe didn't want to run all the way down to the Keys, it provides an opportunity for a lot more teams to be able to participate at whatever level they can and go right out of their backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because again,
it's dock of choice.
Yeah, dock of choice. So you can go out where you want, but now you've got to weigh. You got to weigh your fish or turn in your video cards at 3 locations. So we're gonna be at Ocean Reef, Miami Beach Marina, and Bahia Mar there in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I mean, it really does. Beautiful. I mean, especially that hotel's gorgeous.
Oh, well,
I mean, it's now become like the landmark of South Florida.
It's an iconic building.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
there you
worldwide,
go. Iconic building, exactly.
And it hasn't even opened the doors yet.
Right.
And it's, what's the first thing you see when you fly in?
That's what I mean. It's like it's become the landmark of South Florida. When you land, you're like, oh, what the heck is that if you've never been here before?
And they've got tremendous people that we work with over there. And we're excited. I mean, the Super Bowl is being hosted at Hard Rock Stadium this year. Fox Sports is covering it this year, which is Jimmie's station. So Jimmie and Howie and Terry and the whole crew are going to be
Jimmie, Howie, and Terry.
Yep. And then a month later, not even less than a month later, is our event. So it's really, the Hard Rock buzz is, we're going to be right in the middle of it all.
I didn't even think about that with the Super Bowl.
So cool.
I didn't put 2 and 2 together on that until you just mentioned
they're
it.
opening October 24th, and they know the whole property won't be ready, but they're opening the doors no matter what. But by the time they get to the first of the year, and by the time they get to Super Bowl, everything will be ready.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really ready right at Super Bowl time, and we're there 1 month later. Are you kidding? It's so cool.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Fun. And we want everybody to, because again, you got to think outside the box a little bit, because, we're doing a celebratory weekend after the fishing's over with. And our gifting is after. Our Pro-Am is after, because that's all going to be on that Saturday. And we're fishing Thursday, Friday this year. So our schedule's changed a little bit. And you just have to, we have a relationship with every team. And so we talk to every single team. And we tell them, this is what we're doing this year. This is why. It's just like when we went to the guaranteed purse and had to convince them that this is the way it is. Here's your bag of money. Come and get it. As opposed to, this is how much you're going to get if this amount of teams fish, So it's just, we've always
the
had
guaranteed is definitely the big part of that.
Ooh,
for sure.
Nobody's done that.
No.
Yeah, I think we're just, I know there's a way that fishing tournaments are done. We just want to change it up a little bit.
That's what I mean. I mean, it's a good thing.
And we want to do it for the better. I talk to most of the captains, and I kind of work with every captain and owner, and I know there's a lot of changes. I know everyone's nervous about where to go, where to stay, whatever. We're here to help. We're going to make this a great year, and you're going to see that we have good plans for it. We haven't steered you wrong yet.
Right.
So we're not going to steer you wrong again.
Great.
It's going to be great. Everyone's just got to digest it. Let's figure out where to go, where you want to fish, where the fish are going to be.
Hey, we turn it around on these
celebrate.
guys and say, hey, now it's real skill, okay? Because before, when you're at one marina and everybody's there, and then at 7 o'clock in the morning, everyone's going out and they're flashing their number, they're all looking for the hot boat. And where's that hot boat going? That's their strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Right now, you got to start thinking, this is 6 months out. Where are the fish that time of year? South? Middle? Or are they north?
Yeah, they can be checking conditions and currents and
and a word of advice, because we already have 81 teams signed up. But a piece of advice, if I were to give any, I already have captains and owners calling me saying, where should we stay? Here's what we're thinking. Here's our plan of action. People are plotting now. We're 6 months out.
Mm-hmm.
People are planning now what they're going to be doing for that tournament. When we announced in May, the first thing I heard from was one of our teams saying, we need to know the boundaries because everybody books a year in advance for this tournament because it's high season.
Right.
It is the tournament that everyone wants to be in. So plan ahead and let us help you plan ahead, because I think that, we want to make sure everyone has the best time.
Well, and the teams that are from the Keys and they're believers, they know the waters, they're going to stay in the Keys. They're
Mm-hmm.
not going anywhere. You got some teams that are saying, I'm going to Miami because in the morning I can turn left or I can turn right, okay? Mm-hmm. And then there's teams that are going to be from the north that are most likely going to fish out of their backyards up there and use, Fort Lauderdale as their way station. So everyone's got to figure it out, and that's the cool part about it. Now it really takes some skill and some strategy. You got to come up with the right plan because you may be way off base.
Yep.
When we originally
cool.
were
No, it is cool.
When we were originally doing the boundaries, we were actually thinking to stop a little south of Ocean Reef. We went 33 miles into the Keys so that we can keep a lot of our Keys teams participating. Like Trophy Hunter, everyone can kind of give them a good pat on the back. They were the ones that convinced us to go push a little further to Alligator Light there, so that a lot of the teams that are, out of Postcard or out of Bud and Mary's that are there can still get within the boundaries pretty quickly and still drop off at Ocean Reef, no problem. Mm-hmm. And same with up north. People were pushing us to stop in Fort Lauderdale, but we wanted to try to help out some of those teams in Palm Beach. So we stopped at Green Acres, which is just south of Palm Beach. And that way, Palm Beach teams, all you have to do is run a little south just to do a, drop off and we, on top of it all, have a really great online drop off system. So if you're not really catching any meat fish and you're just doing catch and release, we have a Dropbox system where you share a folder with us, and Friday and Saturday you can upload your videos to Dropbox.
Thursday and Friday.
Thursday and Friday.
For Thursday and Friday.
You don't even have to show up to give your video cards, okay?
So you could
I
fish
did
out of
not
Palm
know
Beach.
that you had that Dropbox feature.
Yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
the best.
Yeah,
we
that's good.
created it a couple of years ago because we had teams in Miami that didn't want to come down to Ocean Reef on the first night, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The second night, if you're in the money, we made you come down because we don't want it to get caught in a Dropbox. But now...
we're not doing the results till Saturday.
So now
we have all
to,
night Friday to watch video.
Yeah, before we
That's great.
There would be lines in. We'd have to look at all the video and be ready to present by 8 o'clock that night. That's a tough turnaround,
Mm-hmm.
when especially if they're catching 250 fish that day.
Yeah.
So that was always a challenge. But now the big party is one day later, so everybody can just party on Friday. Just get your stuff, either upload it or drop it off, and then we've got all night with our team to look at everything, and we don't have to present until the next night.
That's great.
And our goal is also, so we'll have shuttles at all 3 marinas. So if you're hopping off your boat and you want to just head over to the Hard Rock, check into the Hard Rock Friday night, or have your girlfriend, wife, husband, spouse, whoever it is, check in for you at the Hard Rock. Whenever you get off your boat, come check in there. We'll have a happy hour there that's going to start Friday night. Saturday, everyone parties it up during the day. They come to the trade show, and then we throw the big closing bash where we announce the winners that night. Make a weekend out of it. Go bust your butt for the whole week, and then come have a good time throughout the whole weekend while we're doing the legwork.
All right. So you said the trade show is
Saturday.
after the tournament.
Yeah. We're doing it after.
The gifting.
The gifting is the Saturday. It used to be the Saturday before, and people thought, "Wow, why would I come to something the week before our tournament?" And you know why? Because it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So now that part is going to be the weekend after, because I didn't want to have it to do it the weekend before and throw the same party Saturday and then throw another big party on the following Saturday. It didn't make sense.
Okay, so I need to know this.
Okay.
All right, so I can plan my week here. So
Okay, good.
what's going on? There's nothing on the previous
Tuesday.
Saturday.
No.
Tuesday night of the week of the
Okay.
event is
Because
event number
Yeah.
one.
my
Yes.
birthday is always on the gifting.
I know.
And that was always my big birthday party, so I'm not going to have my big birthday party.
It's okay. It'll just
anyway.
be
Whoa, whoa,
1
whoa.
week later.
What's your birthday?
March 3rd.
Okay,
So we'll have it on Tuesday night.
And we'll have it on Tuesday night.
Okay, great.
But there is a silver lining to this. Because every year Willie Nelson comes to Pompano Beach Amphitheater on my birthday to play.
And now you get to go.
And I can't ever go because I have to be there.
Well,
at
now
the
you can go.
gifting.
That's why
Not
we
have
did
to
it.
be
We
there,
did
but
it
I-
on purpose.
That's why we did this.
I know.
Willie, I'm coming, Willie.
So what we really did, there's two sides to why we did it. One is our sponsors would have to come in town for one weekend and then come back for the next weekend. And it was a little complicated for all these brands that are coming in to host all these teams. It was a little complicated for them. And two, we want to make it 1 week. It's really just supposed to be a week tournament.
Right.
There are teams that are coming in from other places. There are local teams that participate in tournaments the week before, the week after, whatever it may be. We should just be 1 week. So we're going to start off Tuesday, March 3rd.
With
Happy
what?
birthday.
Thank you.
with the registration and a kickoff party at Hard Rock.
Captain's meeting.
Captain's
Okay.
meeting, all that good stuff.
At
all
Hard
the
Rock.
logistical stuff at
the
Hard
Rock.
Rock.
Okay.
It'll be a nice happy hour, similar to what we used to do at the
Big Chill.
Okay. What part of the Hard Rock is that going to be at?
We don't know yet.
You don't know yet.
They haven't finished their property yet.
Gotcha. TBD.
TBD.
TBD. All of our
It'll be
venue
fun.
sites are TBD.
Is Tuesday, March 3rd?
Tuesday
Yeah.
is March 3rd.
See, come on.
All right. I
Okay,
think,
then
see, it's starting to
Wednesday-
line up for me now.
Wednesday, everyone goes to their locations, whatever marina you're at.
Okay.
It's an
If you
open
wanna
fish
be-
day.
It's a pre-fish day. If you want to be at our host marinas, we coordinate it for them. Wednesday night, we'll do dock parties at all three marinas. So whatever marina you're closest to, or if you're at the marina, so Bahia Mar, Ocean Reef, and Miami Beach Marina will all have dock parties going on. That'll be happy hours, just kind of end of the day. Come have a drink with Papa's Pilar and
It's starting to get
Heineken and
like-
have fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dun, dun,
It's
dun,
starting to
dun,
get
dun,
like,
dun.
yeah, dock parties.
And then Thursday, fish.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday, tournament day. Friday, tournament day.
Okay.
Both days you'll have drop off and weigh in at Bahia Mar, Miami Beach, Ocean Reef,
Okay.
or Dropbox.
Or you,
pro-am.
can go, or you can do a Dropbox.
Saturday morning, out of Bahia Mar will be the Celebrity Pro-Am, the
Half
charity
day.
half day.
Yep. Early in the morning.
It'll be from
So we're done
8
at
to
noon.
12. Then trade day will be at Hard Rock. So everybody comes Friday, check into Hard Rock Friday night.
We're doing a party Friday night there.
We're doing a celebrity party Friday night. We'll have a little happy hour for everyone checking in. I promise we'll make it fun. Then Saturday morning, we will do our celebrity program while everyone goes parties at the pool. Trade day is 1 o'clock on Saturday.
I love this freaking tournament.
It's
I
unbelievable.
really do.
And
I
then
really
Saturday
do.
night, we got a party.
The gifting experience trade
Yeah.
day starts at 1 o'clock and goes to like 6 or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then we open up the doors and we'll be poolside. We don't know what pool, but we're going to be poolside for the party.
Right.
And it's just going to be the party that we used to do, but
10 times bigger.
bigger, better, faster.
Yeah.
So
Todd and Val style.
live entertainment.
That's it.
The auction will be big this year. We're going to have a big auction. A lot of
Yeah.
people that are giving us some really quality items, and that's where all of that money goes to our charities.
Yeah.
Okay, so
We've talked about some good entertainment that night with Hard Rock. So
Cool.
there'll be some surprises in store. And plus, we're going to give away a whole lot of money. So
I think they promised us whoever sings halftime at the Super Bowl, they'll have them stay there and come back.
Really?
isn't it going to be Jay-Z or what?
Yeah. I can see Jay-Z going to sing.
Good luck, Todd.
Well, I'm gonna do a new guitar this year too.
Yeah, no
Ooh,
doubt.
Double neck.
Yep,
Oh,
we're going to get one.
I just let Cat out of the bag.
You blew it.
I just blew it.
It's going to be a good one.
I'm painting a double neck guitar this year.
Nice. Do you already have it? Do you need it?
No, he needs it.
We're working on it.
Okay.
We're working on it.
Nice.
Yep, we're going to work with some of the Hard Rock partners to get that done.
Yeah.
Our friend Jimmy Page.
I want to. Yeah. Wouldn't that be something? And I want to start on it early, so I'm going to do an extra good job on it this year.
Yeah, no, that's going to be great. Are you kidding? So we've got a lot of that. It's going to be an experience that no one's ever seen before. You know, it's right now it's just in our brains, but
There's a lot of logistics to be worked out, but we're working on them, and everyone's excited. Everyone that's on the back end that knows some of the logistics so far, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Everyone's just got to go with the flow and have a good time and trust us.
Yeah, trust the process. I mean, there's no reason not to trust you guys at this point with it.
Yep.
So
I mean, we're on track. We have 81 teams registered. 81, 83, 81.
81.
81 teams registered. We're 6 months out, and hopefully we'll get to 125. That would be kind
I
of.
think you will. I don't think that's going to be an issue.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, I always think it. You know, I think our numbers are always pretty solid, and you know, so it's. We'd like to make sure we're getting to that $2 million mark. That would be.
Yeah, that might help.
That would be great.
Yeah.
I think also people forget that we have the meat division.
Right. There's the meat division. And I know there's a lot of, just from up here in the Pompano area, there's a lot of boats that never fished this before that are talking to my ear like, hey, I'm going to fish it.
Yeah, because it's not just catch and release. Our meat division has generally every year has a $250,000 purse.
Yeah.
That gets paid out.
Yeah, there's no other meat tournaments that are giving out that kind of
The
money.
past 2 years.
That's that's a good point because that's like a tournament within a tournament.
Yep.
And your tournament within a tournament is bigger than most other tournaments of just that style of tournament. Does that make sense?
Definitely.
There's no doubt.
Yeah.
Listen, Blue Moon Fish Company, who we love, they've won it every year.
The last 2
past
years.
2 years. They've won $91,000 just by two.
Each of the last 2 years.
Just on the meat.
Just on the meat. Yep, that's the only division that he fishes, Bryce, and that's what they've walked with. So
they need some competition this year, guys.
Yep.
No, just kidding, Bryce. We love you.
Bring
Good
the
luck out there.
noise. Well, little competition never hurt
Yeah, it
anybody.
doesn't hurt anyone.
So.
But that's the whole thing is, so we've got our catch and release division. There's different categories. General entries, 5,000, then it goes up to about 30,000, depending on what you're getting into. But our weighted division, $5,000 to enter. You get the same benefits as, the catch and release, the same entry. You get your gifting experience. You get your $7,000 worth of gifts that you're going to get. And it's $10,000 to go across the board to be in every category. Got all the heaviest, all that stuff. And there's money in there to, be had. I mean,
there's definitely money in there to be had. I mean, I think everyone knows that one for sure. I mean,
plus, it's all about the ring. You know about Jimmy. These guys want these rings. These rings are Super Bowl caliber. When you think about it, first of all, none of the teams, we do not have a repeat champion yet. Okay, so nobody has won it twice. Now, Captain Dudas has been a captain of two separate teams that has won it.
Right.
Okay, with 4 aces and then Sandman.
The Sandman,
but nobody has had a repeat performance or champion. So we're anxious to see who that first team is going to be. But we love a new team winning it every year also. So it's
a tough challenge, though, because, I mean, you're bringing out the best of the best for this tournament. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And a lot of them. You're not just bringing out 30 of the best of the best. You're bringing out a ton of the best of the best.
And there's teams that are now coming from other parts of the country.
Yeah.
And even though the fishing is a different style, not this past year, but the year before that, a team from Texas took a second place and brought home, $250,000.
Yep.
And, so there's other really good fishermen coming from other parts of the country. And if they get here enough, they'll start figuring out the style and the game plan and where to go, So we're bringing in a lot of really good teams.
So you're getting Maryland boats and Michael Jordan coming in from North Carolina and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
you know what? And what's gotta love Michael. What's funny?
Michael's now, become he's a real fisherman now, He was just up at the White Marlin and then also Mid-Atlantic, and he brought in a couple Marlin in the Mid-Atlantic, so he's got a couple years under his belt now. And
getting his feet wet.
Yes, he's doing it.
I think what's interesting also about our tournament is, when when the kids from Astra Sales won a couple years ago,
Yep.
and they won the largest purse ever given to one team, $420,000. It made it clear that it's not only the big boys that can win. There are season teams. I mean,
It's true.
Captain Dudas, on the Sandman, he won last year, 2 years ago. And, Jerry Pohl and the Seraphim won last year. And, Wheeze and the Keys has won 1 year, and Rockstar and those guys and the seasoned professionals that are out there.
The art saps and all that. Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
the
Liquid.
when it was Liquid and the Native Son guys.
Team Hardway won it the first year.
Team
Yeah.
Hardway, yeah.
Yeah.
So really, it's anyone's game out there. You know, I mean, yes, they work hard and everyone works hard, and there's a lot of time and energy and go and catch your bait and all that good stuff, but it's anyone's game.
I have to, all right, because he'll never forgive me if I don't mention it. And Team Takizi took top Mahi last year.
Heck yeah!
Right?
We love those guys.
Yeah, Harris Cats. Captain
Harris has
Charles
come
Hartel.
a long way. I remember their first year. They
Yeah.
came and stuff, and they were just...
They were just there to have a good time, and then they
Yep.
ended up taking some good dollars
Up on the
home. So
podium, holding a big check.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
I think that's the best part is, Frustrated Amateurs won some of the meat money in 1 year. And so it's really, there's enough money out there for
Yeah.
a little of everyone. We have 62 payouts, 61 or
Yes,
62
it's
payouts.
A lot of happy people walking
So
away
there's
from
a
that
lot
tournament.
of happy people,
Yeah.
right? There's
Yeah.
a little bit of everyone.
Yeah.
Just so happens maybe one big boy is going to take. If you take both days, you take home a lot of money.
It's kind of rare, like, because I'm in the crowd and I'm talking to all the guys too and everything like that. I haven't fished the tournament in like 3 or 4 years because as the tournaments progressed, my involvement with the events has grown too. So it's just easier that I don't fish the tournament anymore because I'm
working.
I'm working.
You're on our side.
But on the events, I'm in the crowd, and I have never once heard anyone say, "Psh, I'm not fishing this tournament again." I've never heard anyone say that.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Oh,
like,
no.
even the ones that just laid an egg, they're like, "Hey, we had a good time." There you go.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back next year.
Hey, listen, we understand the investment that these guys, these teams have. It's a big investment, so we understand. So our job is to deliver, more than just here's a fishing tournament. We've got to deliver the entire show, and that's what we try to do. And when somebody doesn't have a good time at any of the things that we do, we take it to heart. We care. We don't not care. We care. So we want to try to take as much out of play as possible. We want to try to think about what we would like if we were a guest. That's kind of how we approach all these.
Yeah.
And the investment these teams have, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, and we do take everyone's feedback every year. I mean, when our categories, maybe we should switch some things around. We actually took away cobia this year because it just isn't a big category, and we put some more money into tunas and wahoo and kingfish categories because of it. So we take everyone's suggestions every year. We appreciate the suggestions. Like we said, we only got into the fishing world 8 years ago, and we're doing a great job thanks to our tournament director, Brick Peoples, and
Rick's doing a great job with the tournament.
great. Like we have so many great people. I mean, you help us, with all the feedback. Our captains, our Ring of Honor champions, and all the owners. We really rely on them. We ask them for a lot of feedback too every year. So, I really think that we can't do it alone. We just know what we like, and we want to make the fishing part of it, the best that it can be every year.
Yeah, we tweak our rules every year. Every year something comes up, and you got to address it, and you just tweak it and move on. We think we got a good basic set of rules, but every year there's something, and you just got to tweak and fix and make sure that you're always trying to cover everything.
Yeah.
And we work with the guys at Catch That, Dave Garcia and those guys to make sure our live scoring is the best and make sure we have as much staff as possible. So logistically, everybody knows what's going on at any point of the tournament.
Yeah, no, it shows. It shows that you guys listen. It shows that you guys are responding, and that it's always an ever-evolving kind of organism that you guys have built here, and not just like this is what we're doing. We're staying in our lane. This works. We're done. Don't mess with what works.
Yeah, we want to be here for a long time.
Yeah.
It's that's and if you think about what you're doing and you're conscious about, doing the right thing, you can be in business for a long time,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you can't get greedy, and you've got to think about the big picture all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. Where do we go from here with the Jimmie Johnson, the Hard Rock? It's almost like you guys have accomplished so much in a very short period of time, right? And
We're not there yet. We have a lot.
Well, that's
more
what I
to
mean.
give.
It's like, but look, I know you guys, and I know that you're always like,
Let me tell you.
how can I make this perfect?
For
How can I make
Seafood
this
Fest?
perfect? You know what I mean?
For Seafood Fest, what did I always say? Year 10, we were going to have Tom Petty, but then he died on us. So we're going to find someone big. Year 10 at Seafood Fest. For Jimmie, we have a lot of places to go.
Nice.
We have more marinas. We have, we want to make this the largest tournament. And I
Yeah.
promise you, we're going to work our butts off to make sure it's the biggest and the best and the most fun and logistically the easiest for everyone to participate in.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. I always, when you're building something, you just got to remember, the goose that laid the golden egg. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to always make sure that goose is taken care of, because you can get caught and get off on tangents, and you're forgetting about the main thing. And the main thing is this fishing tournament right here. So there's some other things that are floating around at us and to us and getting offered, and some ideas, but. I want to make sure that this tournament is exactly the way we want it. And we're making a big jump this year. So
Right.
logistically, we want to make sure that everything's perfect so that we're good here. And then we've got some ideas for some other
also
growth.
We bring in a lot of partners that have exclusivity with our event. Like Joe at Contender has been with us since before day one.
Mm-hmm.
We love them there. And, of course, Hard Rock and Papa's, Pilar and Yamaha, and those great presenting sponsors that we have. So now it's about finding some other exclusive partners that are in other fields. That you guys are funny.
What's happening? What's happening? I'm like trying to. What's happening? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Valerie. Happy birthday to you.
that was so
didn't think
sweet.
we forgot, did you?
Thank you. And I have to make a big wish. Okay.
All right.
I can't tell anyone else. I can't go
It's
through. But I'll
okay.
tell you that we're going to make Jimmie's really big.
There you go. Yay! All right.
Thank
Happy
you guys.
birthday.
That was so sweet of you.
So
Give
nice,
us your
thanks.
social media contacts. What are they?
JJ Fish Week?
Hashtag JJ Fish Week.
No. At JJ
At
Fish
JJ
Week.
Fish
You
Week.
can hashtag JJ Fish
You
Week
can
too.
if you want to.
Yep. At Sobe Seafood Fest.
Mm-hmm.
SOBESEAFOODFEST.
Okay.
At World of CI, which is our parent company.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Awesome.
You can find us on all of those. And, reach out. We want to hear more. We want to do more. We love Florida.
Yeah. Thanks, Liz, for bringing in the cake. You're welcome. Right? Come here. Come. This is my
Liz.
wife, Liz. Say hi. Say hi to everybody at home. Say hi. This is maybe dip down a little bit because I think the camera. Say hi. Yeah, there you go. Say hi.
we go.
This is Liz. Hey, she's on the
There we go.
podcast. So, happy birthday.
I want to say,
You can say all you want.
thank you. Thank you for doing this and putting this together, and you and Harris and Liz and the whole team. And you guys are really creating something that's special, I think, not only for the
Yeah,
fishing
we're proud
community.
of you. We've seen a big
Aw,
difference.
man.
in
But
all these
we've-
years. We really are.
It's gonna be the second time I'm gonna want to cry today.
No, but really, you're building something that is amazing, and it's creating that community that I know is so important to you and so important to all of us down here. We're all proud of our community, and I think you're adding to something that's really valuable for everyone.
I appreciate you saying that. It makes me feel good. So
We're all connected by water.
we're all connected by water, my friend.
Hey,
That's
Hard
what it's
Rock
all
said
about.
it, so it makes sense.
There you go.
Hey, to all 4 people out there that are watching and listening to this.
There you go. There it is.
Wait, when do we get to do our?
You can do that after.
Okay,
Man.
we have a lot to say.
Wow. All right.
Let me
well,
tell you about my good friend Dennis.
Let me
Friel.
tell you about this guy, Dennis. Thinks he knows how to draw. All right. So listen, like
Thank
my
you.
buddy Mike G says, your ego is not your amigo. And always remember, just do your best and let God do the rest. We're all connected by water, people. Thank you very much for coming on, guys.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's go party at Papa's.
Woo!